A titan of industry loses their fortune overnight. A beloved film star suddenly stops receiving calls. A brilliant scientist hits a dead end they simply cannot engineer their way out of. No matter how much wealth, power, or intellect a person gathers, almost everyone eventually hits a catastrophic wall. To understand why this happens, we have to look at the dual layers of our existence. There is the visible hardware, our physical body, and the invisible software, our thoughts. If someone is born with incredibly resilient hardware, that physical strength can pull them out of poverty and place them on a throne. But a body that feels invincible often breeds a rigid, stubborn pride. These individuals believe they can force the world to bend to their will through sheer effort, making them blind to the moment they are actually being crushed. Then there are those with weak hardware but powerful software, the deep thinkers. They suffer from a different illusion. Because their minds have solved complex puzzles, they assume they can analyze and think their way through any problem, failing to realize that some obstacles in nature cannot be outsmarted. This disconnect leads to a specific type of failure. A person with a weak internal state might earn money, yet every project they start remains half-finished. Their houses are never completed, and their goals are never fully realized. They are operating without an understanding of their own limits or their own nature. When we don't know who we are, our ego acts as a system-crashing glitch. It forces us to chase things we weren't built to catch, turning our lives into a series of unresolvable errors within the broader architecture of nature. Nature operates on a set of rigid underlying rules. It is a system built on specific assigned frequencies, where every object and every force has a fixed role it was designed to play. This diagram illustrates these limits. A cellular signal is efficient on land, but physically incapable of doing a submarine's sonar pulse, and vice versa. We ignore these boundaries through kardapon, the illusion of absolute doership, believing we can execute tasks far outside our natural given strengths. When an individual tries to operate outside their natural frequency, they get caught in a mental or economic labyrinth. They become a blockage in the system, spinning their wheels in a cycle they cannot escape. This friction between human will and systemic rules is the central theme of The Matrix Reloaded. The programming logic of the film illustrates why the human ego is treated as a technical error that must be managed by the system to prevent a total crash. In the film's climax, Neo meets his creator, the architect. He learns he is not a miraculous savior. He is a mathematical anomaly, a physical manifestation of the errors that have built up within the system's code. The architect explains that no matter how perfectly the matrix is designed, the human variable of choice inevitably creates glitches. Neo is simply the sum of all those unresolved technical contradictions. To manage this, the machines created a loop. As shown here, Neo is part of the sixth matrix iteration. His rebellion is a scheduled event. When the human glitch grows too large, the system forces a reboot, preventing total simulation collapse from its own errors. This mirrors our own lives. When our ego grows unchecked, we find ourselves trapped in cyclical failures. We keep hitting the same walls because we are trying to solve problems using the same flawed logic that created them. As long as we believe we are the ones in total control, we remain stuck in this predetermined cycle, fulfilling a role the system has already mapped out for us. The architect offers Neo a choice between two doors. One leads to the reset of the system, and the other leads back into the matrix toward almost certain destruction. Neo breaks the mathematical cycle. He chooses the door that logic forbids, driven by the rational love for Trinity. He stops acting like a programmed savior and starts acting like an individual who has identified his own truth. In our reality, nature is the system we operate within. Our ego provides the persistent illusion that we are the chosen one, capable of bending every circumstance to our personal desires. Holding on to this chosen one complex is what prevents us from seeing the world as it actually is. We exhaust ourselves fighting against waves we were never meant to swim through. The solution is to drop the stubbornness of doership. It means recognizing when a pursuit is not aligned with our nature and having the awareness to leave those paths alone rather than forcing a result. When we stop trying to be the absolute masters of the system, the glitch is patched. By accepting our specific limits and letting go of the need for total control, we stop being a blockage in the code and finally begin to move in harmony with the world.